Hey everybody, how's it going? Steve here, and I can't believe it. We are unboxing the PlayStation 5. I do have an extra controller here, an extra DualSense. Before I continue, obviously, this early access PlayStation 5 was provided by PlayStation. How else would I get it? But there you go. So thank you to PlayStation for sending this console over. I can't believe that we're some of the first to check out the next generation of gaming right here on Game Explain. So we're going to jump right in. This is a huge box. Just for reference, here's my hands. I don't have like huge hands, but they're not super tiny either. So you can see this is a big boy. So rather than doing our typical box rotation, I'm just going to show you what is inside. We're going to get right to the interesting stuff. So let's go ahead and turn this up on vertically so you can just see it's got a carry handle here, which and the blue on the top kind of reminds me of the PlayStation 2. Although this box, Sony is using environmentally friendly packaging to minimize on carbon emissions, so it's not quite as robust as previous PlayStation console boxes. It's a lot thinner, but anything that's good for the environment is good for me. And besides, I'm going to recycle this box as soon as I've got the console out of it. So it looks like we use the handle to just lift everything out. So I'm going to lay it back down, since we obviously don't want to lift up and hit the camera here. And we're just going to pull this out. And here we go. With the outer box out of the way, we've got just a plain cardboard box, again with some instructions on how to flip this up. We'll turn it and we will pull the contents out. Before we do that though, here you can see what is in the PlayStation 5. So we've got the manual, we've got the DualSense controller right on top, and then we've got the console. So here it is in its still hitherto wrapped glory, the PlayStation 5. So if I take the sides off, which are supporting the console, and wow, this has got some heft to it. This is a substantial boy. We'll take these cardboard sides and move those off. Let's go ahead and unwrap the star of the show. We have to kind of lift it because this is tucked underneath. And there we go. There we have it. This is big. It is also very nice in person. You can see here is this is the disk drive model. So let me orient this the right way. And you can see here's the front of the PlayStation 5. So if you were to support it horizontally instead of vertically, it would look a lot like this sitting on your shelf. And honestly, it sits pretty flat. If I sit it down, it is perfectly flat. And from above, it almost looks like a PS3, like the old PS3 model with the kind of indent for the disk drive there. I like the look of it. I'm almost certainly going to stand it vertically, just because I really like the profile of the device. On the back, we have a power cord, HDMI, Ethernet, and 2 USB 3.0 ports. On the side here, we just have some FCC labeling, stuff like that. On the front, we have a USB-C port and a USB port that can charge devices. We have our power and eject buttons. And on the top, we have nothing. So if you look at it from this side, the way it would look if it was standing up, you've got the PlayStation logo etched into the case. That is actually cut out. And on the other side, it's just plain white. So there is the console. I'm going to set this aside for now because I really, really want to check this out. Here it is, the DualSense controller. And this was kind of a controversial design. I'm going to bring it up closer here so you can see. Ash, Derek, and I talked about this when it was first revealed, and from the get-go, I was a really big fan of this. I love the clear buttons, I love the clear D-pad, and I actually really like this two-tone design. It's also slightly textured on the back. If you haven't followed closely, these are actually like little symbols, I believe, etched into it. Looking closely at it, I can't make it out. No, actually, I take that back. Let me bring this up really, really, really close. So hopefully, if you're looking on a bigger screen, you can see it. But there are microscopic or really tiny PlayStation symbols etched into the back of the controller to give it a grippy feel. I freaking love that. That is awesome. The PlayStation button feels nice. Oh, I accidentally turned it on. All the buttons are very clicky. I can't really talk too much about it. I'm not sure what I'm allowed to say or what I'm not, but this is the DualSense controller. It feels really great in the hand. It is very comfortable. I can't wait to actually play a game on it, try it out. And finally, we just have your standard complement of cords. We have the power cord. We have a USB cable that's included to charge the included DualSense controller. And we have an HDMI cable. This is different from the PS4 one. It's more of a blocky connector, but it's the same HDMI we know and love, although I imagine it includes HDMI 2.1 support, though I'm not sure that the one included with the PS4 didn't. Last but not least, we have the base for the console. Getting that out of here. And basically, this is what we will attach to the bottom of the PS5 to make it stand upright. So there you have it. There is everything included with the PlayStation 5. So you get the console itself, obviously a controller, and your standard cables. I'm a big fan of the design of the DualSense controller. I think it feels really good. Only time will tell after I've played some games with it, how I feel about it. But for now, my very first impression is positive. The PS5 itself is a hefty guy. It's pretty big. But that being said, I still really like the design. I like it just as much in person as I did in the press shots, and I'm a fan. I really, really think that this is a very beautiful console. I'll be interested to see, we'll have much more on the console, on the channel, when we're allowed to, including a full review, how it runs, is it noisy? Does it get hot? We'll answer all your questions about the PlayStation 5 as soon as we're allowed to. So stay tuned to Game Explainer for much, much, much more on the next generation of gaming, especially the PlayStation 5, and all other things gaming as well. Make sure to ring that notification bell to be the first to know every time a new video goes up, and I will see you next time.